Hey, this is Matt. Welcome to this week's War Room Debrief. All right, guys, time to announce the winners of our Age of Sigmar escalation campaign that we've had the last 5 weeks. So some really tight races in the points, some really close competition. Starting with our Chaos winner, we have Mark Lundgren. And if anyone knows him, you know he loves his cavalry. So Mark, you're gonna get Eternus. This kit also builds into the Chaos Lord on mount. So super good for your Chaos Knights and your Vanguard that you love to run. So congratulations, Mark, well done. Really like your conversions as well. Our one death player that signed up, believe it or not, one death player was Ethan. Ethan has a phenomenally painted Nighthaunt army. Really cool, uses blacklight effects. If you ever see him in store, tell him to check it out. He always has a little flashlight, very cool stuff. He also has a display piece next to our magic. And of course, the tightest race was a 2-point difference. This is between Paul Goodrich and Adam Fellebaum. Unfortunately for Adam, Paul pulled ahead with 2 points. So Paul, you're gonna get the new Snarlfang Riders for your Gloomspite. So hopefully you won't kill everyone with your trolls anymore. And the overall winner of our tournament, or our escalation league, I should say, was Nate Danko. He maxed out his score, which is really hard to do. So congratulations, Nate. Thank you for all you've done. Bringing in new players, engaging. So you were gonna get the Start Collecting Anvil Guard. Nate played a Cities of Sigmar list, which was very fluffy, not very competitive, but he was a great opponent, taught a lot of new guys some stuff. So Nate, I challenge you to make the Dark Elves, the Corsairs work, because no one else knows how, but you can do it. Last but not least, 2 players that were kind of newer to the league, Andrew H., Jeff P., 2 phenomenal guys. If you guys had a chance to play against them, you'll agree. Jeff P., I have a Slaughter Priest here for you. I know your book right now is really old, very difficult to play. Good news, Korn is coming out with a new book very soon. So this Slaughter Priest will help you out. Andrew H., I got you a Knight Judicator. This is for you. You need some shooting in your list to kill those pesky support heroes and help out your Vigilers. So this guy will pair up really well with them. Okay, it's time to recap our Age of Sigmar RTT this last weekend. Highlight 3 of my favorite matches I saw this weekend, in no particular order. My one was Ethan versus Tony Indurante. We had Nighthaunt versus Fire Slayers. This is a really good matchup because both armies are extremely tanky. They both have really good ward saves. So it's really coming down to who can roll the most 1s, 2s, and 3s. Unfortunately for Indurante, the Nighthaunt took it, but that was a really funny match to watch. Round 2 had a really cool matchup, actually my favorite of the tournament. It was Paul Goodrich versus Cody. This was a rematch waiting in the making. Paul and Cody have played numerous times. Normally Cody always takes it and ends up winning the tournament. However, Paul pulled it off and he beat Cody in round 2. Paul is playing the new Gloomspite Trolls, and that army is incredibly difficult. It has an insane amount of regen. It can resurrect units, has a lot of punch, and a lot of invulnerable saves. Nice thing about Cody's list is it's a Vanguard army with a ton of Chaos Chosen. The reason this army is so good is it hits hard and hits fast, does a ton of mortals, and it is a list that is designed to be able to break something like a Gloomspite regeneration list that Paul had. However, as you'll see in some of the shots we got, Paul expertly played his army and kept it in a very nice castle formation. He had phenomenal overlapping on debuffs and synergy. And while Cody did the same thing, unfortunately, I think for Cody, he just couldn't crack through, and boy, do those trolls hit hard. Okay, so the final round was, my favorite match in round 3 wasn't actually who was playing for first. Who was playing for first was Nate Danko with his cities list versus Paul with his Gloomspite and Trolls. Unfortunately for Nate, his Fluffy Cities list, well, there's no chance he was going to beat Paul's Troll list. But I want to highlight Adam Fellebaum and Aaron Susaris's match in round 3. Very interesting. Adam Fellebaum had an Ogre list that was primarily, actually was completely Thunder Tusks, which is a very uncommon unit to be taking. It used to be really good in AOS 1.0 and they kind of fell off. But Adam made a list that's pure Thunder Tusks, and they were playing a very interesting map where if you control all 3 points, you automatically win. Aaron was playing Skaven. He had a lot of Warp Lightning Cannons, which can do a ton of damage from long range, which is actually a pretty good counter. So he was able to kill quite a bit of Adam's Thunder Tusk before they could even get into charge range. Unfortunately for Aaron, he was too spread out, and Adam at the last second was able to make a really long bomb charge and a couple of really expertly played movements, and he was able to capture all 3 points, even though he was way behind in primary points and battle tactics score. Based on that mission, if you control all 3 at a certain point of time in the match, you automatically win. Adam had a long bomb charge, he hit it, and he ended up winning the match. That's why we love the game. You know, never give up, never count yourself out. Quick wrap up of our AOS RTT this last weekend. Big thank you to everyone that came down, everyone that enjoyed. Shout out to Andrew H, your first RTT, played all 3 games. Maybe didn't win as many as you thought, but hey, that's where it starts. If you want to come down and learn AOS or want to join an RTT, it's the first Saturday of every month. More than willing to help you out. Look forward to seeing you guys. And that's going to be it for our War Room Debrief. Tune in next week. We'll have more information about our 40K RTT as well as our auction.